ZANU-PF Ziyambi reviews government timeline for CAB3 approval. Kusangana kwatinoita pano pamagaba news, where we give you trending news which is happening munharaunda nemunyika yedu yeZimbabwe, tichikuzivisai maererano nenhau dzematongero enyika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe, tichiti kana pane vatsigiri vachangosvika pano pamagaba news ndiwo mukana wekubaya button rakanzi subscribe nekutena notification bell. Zuva ranhasi takabata nhau yaMinister of Justice Ziyambi vanova votaura maererano nechitiko cheurongwa uri kutarisirwa kupinda muparamendi, uyo uri kutarisirwa kupinda muparamendi kutanga kwaJuni. Apo vaZiyambi vataura mashoko vari paState House vachiti ivo sezvo 90 days consultation process yakapera, ruzhinji rwakapiwa mukana wekutaura pamusoro pechitiko cheCAB3 kana kuti Constitution Amendment Bill number 3. Iko zvino vaZiyambi votaura vachiti vari kutarisira kuti urongwa hweCAB3 kubvumirwa kwazvo zvinofanira kunge by the end of June zvagadziriswa, zvaita kuti veruzhinji vauye vachitaurawo mashoko akasiyana-siyana pamusoro pechitiko ichi, sezvo ndicho chapinzwa mudariro chitaurika zuva ranhasi munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Veruzhinji vouyawo vachitaurawo mashoko avo pamusoro pechitiko ichi, vamwewo vachisapota, vamwe vachizviramba, vamwe vati if it can get proper glasses for himself, how do we trust him? Vamwewo vakataurawo vakati itai henyu zveCAB3, but I don't trust the forced silence of the majority. The moment you realize passage of this CAB required extensive vamwewo vakataurawo zvakasiyana-siyana pamusoro pechitiko ichi, vakati so people are voting for something they haven't been fully explained. Higher education is a must truly. Vakati one look at this guy and you realize what a crooked lawyer looks like. So ndo mashoko ari kutaurawo veruzhinji according to news maererano nemashoko avaZiyambi ari kutendedzwa pamusoro pechitiko ichi. Justice Minister Ziyambi has confirmed that the bill is expected to move formally into Parliament next week, with the government aiming to complete the entire legislative process before the end of June. According to updates said following the conclusion of the National World Public Consultation, the government now believes the groundwork has been completed for lawmakers to begin debating the proposed constitutional change. Inside the parliament, Ziyambi explained that the 90 days consultation process is officially ended and portfolio committees are currently complying reports gathered from oral and written submission made by citizens during public hearing. Heard across the country, he indicated that these reports could be finalized by the weekend, paving the way for the bill to be formally introduced when Parliament resumes sitting. The Justice Minister said once Parliament reconvenes, the government will officially present the bill for its first reading before proceeding to the second reading stage. That a second phase is expected to become one of the most closely watched political debate in Zimbabwe, as lawmakers discuss the rationale behind the proposed constitutional amendment bill and examine the content class by cluster. Ziyambi stated that the government intended to fully explain the provision contained in the bill and open the floor for parliament debate. You also said the portfolio committee that handled the public hearing are expected to present details reports outlining citizen submissions before members of the parliament begin debating specific clusters and proposing possible amendment. The development are already attracting major national attention because CAB3 become one of the most discussed political issues in Zimbabwe. Supporters of the proposed amendment urge that the changes are necessary for governance and administrative reforms, while critics believe the bill could reshape the country's political landscape in the significant ways. One important point raised by Ziyambi is that government may still make adjustment to certain provision depending on how parliamentary debate unfolds. He suggests that if the lawmakers believe some clusters required revision or removal, those concerned could still be considered during the legislative process. That statement being interpreted by political observers as a sign that negotiation and consultation may continue even as the bill moves deeper into parliament. The Justice Minister also outlined what many are calling the clearest roadmap yet for how the government plans to push CAB3 through parliament. The bill is now transition from the consultation stage into a direct legislative confrontation inside both House of Parliament, with the ZANU-PF currently holding the 2/3 majority required to amend the constitution, and the ruling party enters this next stage with strong numerical advantage in both the National Assembly and the Senate. That majority could prove crucial as debate intensifies over the proposed constitutional change. However, despite the ruling party parliamentary strength, discussions surrounding CAB3 are expected to remain heated both inside and outside parliament. Civil society group, opposition figures, legal experts, and political commentators are expected to closely monitor the process as debate begins. The coming weeks could therefore become politically significant for Zimbabwe, especially as Parliament prepares to examine the bill in details. Analysts said the Parliament debate may review division, alliance, and possible amendment that could shape the final version of the proposed law. For now, all attention is turning towards Parliament next week, where the formal process is expected to begin. If government timeline remains on track, CAB3 could clear Parliament before the ending of June. Marks a major milestone in Zimbabwe's ongoing constitutional and political discussion. As the process unfolds, Zimbabweans are expected to continue following development closely, with many waiting to see whether Parliament approve the bill in its current form or introduce major changes during debate. Muri Zimbabwe ndona yatikamirira sezvo tiri kunzwa kuti ma-MP ekwasingizo chabangu akati iwo haasi kungobvuma pachitiko cheCAB3 ichi, ende tiri kuona kuti ZANU-PF ine manhamba awanda muparliament. Zvinova zviri kuonekwa neveruzhinji kuti zvinhu izvi zvichanga zvichizonetsa kozi vanogona kungovhoterana pachavo, sezvo mamembers ZANU-PF ane mashoko avakavhundutsirwa nawo. What's your take on this issue? What's your take on this news? Ndidzo nhau dzatinoya takabata pano pa YouTube channel, patinobata nhau dzematongero enyika paMagaba News YouTube channel inokuigira news. Tiri kutendai kune vese vari kutsigira YouTube channel yedu.